All right, guys, make sure you get the word out. Share it on your social media, Facebook, Twitter, forums, and anywhere you see a chat room live, post it in there. Get it into every place you can find. It's going to be a very good show, guys. Don't miss it. Stay tuned. I'll be with you in just a moment. Bum 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 bum. All right, guys, what's happening? Blazing Press here, once again, live with you on YouTube. Yep, it's live. It's live. What's happening? God bless all you out there. Praying the Lord's richest blessings upon your life and everything else that goes along with that. But you got to seek first the kingdom, otherwise you can't get it. You know, you can only bless somebody if they're willing and they're, putting God first. They're not going to get, and I'm not saying that outwardly you can't have nice things and even without being a Christian, but I'm talking about being right with God. It's like you get in sync with the way in which things were meant to be, and everything unfolds in a perfect kind of symmetrical, orchestrated kind of way. It's beyond the orchestration of the WWE and what you see happening on your mainstream media and the world in general, and how it's all being guided by the hidden hand. God actually is behind it all anyway. He allows it. He allows what's going on to happen. So a lot of people are wondering, like, why is this happening? It's kind of like Forrest when he saw his buddy Bubba when he got shot. Remember that? Forrest Gump. And he's like, why did this happen, Forrest? you know, and he's like, Bubba, Bubba got shot. Why did it happen? I don't know. God knows. There's a reason for everything. Ultimately, there's a plan that we don't always and are not always privy to, but we pray, and that's why we entrust our hearts and lives to God, because ultimately he has the last say. He's the one that nothing gets through or past God that he doesn't first allow. And there's a reason why everything does happen. So we make sure we give God the glory and understand that, his plan ultimately in kingdom will prevail. It may not seem like it at the moment. When you go back to Genesis and you see the life of Joseph, and, there's some interesting parallels there with the life of Joseph and what's happening currently with the Jewish faith and what they believe Messiah is to be, and how they perceive the Christian world. And they would call us Edomites. But if you go back to Joseph, it's a parallel of the Messiah coming to the earth. It's really about Jesus himself veiling his identity from his brothers that tried to kill him, right? They tried to kill him, and at a certain point they decided not to. But it's really about God's plan to save them, as the initiated people that God chose out of all the peoples of the earth. He actually chose Abraham first. Abraham wasn't a Jew, right? We have to understand Abraham was a pagan. But even though the many look at the Jews as the chosen people, we understand that anybody that's in Abraham that heeds the call and puts their trust in the God Most High becomes chosen. You come into a chosen status. Your right relationship with God makes you a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, whether you're a Jew or Gentile. There is no favoritism with God. God is not a respecter of persons. And this isn't replacement theology. This is an inclusion. This is like the inclusion, theology, right? Because God includes every nation and every tongue and every tribe in his heaven, whoever will. So, I don't always feel comfortable with people that always say the chosen people and they're talking about the Jews, because really you're a chosen generation. Any of you out there, whether you're, like I said, a Jew or a Gentile, you come under that chosen people status if you're right with God through Christ. And that's the only way you can be chosen. You can't be chosen any other way. You can't be chosen as a worshiper of Hashem without Jesus. You can't be in that status of being the chosen generation. You might be chosen historically, according to your ancestors and according to your lineage, but that doesn't make you a chosen relationship with God in the here and now. That only is afforded to those who know who the Messiah is and who are in Christ. Amen. Now, I don't know why I was watching this channel today, and and I'm thinking about all the things he's saying because he's Jewish, and he's talking about, and I'm going to really delve into this topic and do some research into it, because a lot of Jews think that Trump is the Messiah. You know that, right? A lot of Hasidic Jews believe that Trump is an incarnation of the Messiah. They believe he is Osiris. A lot of Protestant evangelicals that are Zionists, you'd say they're Zionist Christians, they also believe this too. Now, I personally don't believe that. I personally think that what I see happening is a great deception on the order of biblical proportions, in line with even fulfilling end-time prophecy. That's what I think is happening right now, along with Elon and all these factors that are playing into this, that are bringing about an end-time deception. Now, a lot of people are invested. A lot of people have prophesied on YouTube that Trump is the one. He's the guy that's going to save America. He's the one that's going to turn. The white hats are coming in to save the day from the black hats, and this is all part of God's plan, and God told me this, and God told me that, and blah, blah, blah. And they are so heavily invested, they wouldn't see it. They're not going to see it. They're not going to see it because they've already gone all in. They've already said and by the way, the spirits that guide them anyway are, you can see in their delivery that they're all about, many times it's all about their money changing in the temple, right? You can't do that. There's not a big deal about you living in the world and making a living and being supported by, if you're a man or a woman that, is plowing the field to get a little bit of the harvest. But for those who are out there trying to make a buck off of people's faith, and they're trying to actually get rich, Scripture is very clear and it warns. You can tell by the way they adorn themselves. Usually they're very well dressed, lots of jewelry, always talking about, conferences and books and products, and everything is about monetization. Everything is about monetization, whether it's the gospel itself, and trinkets and whatever other thing. That is complete and utter, over the top, caught up with things of this world. And like I said, I don't have a problem with having a large ministry that's giving back into the field, of harvest. You might be channeling funds back in, but you have to be very discerning of a person that's leading a ministry that has no checks and balances, that is not accountable, and that is basically amassing a fortune upon themselves. And they are lascivious, and they're shearing the sheep, and they're making money changing in the temple. They're doing it right smack dab in the temple of a place which is supposed to be holy and called a place of prayer. And they're going to receive a great judgment. The church is coming under great judgments right now. And this is in line with what's happening in the world. Now, we're going to get into the news. I just wanted to kind of get that out there because I've been looking at this Jewish channel that is going into the deep dive of the Gentiles, the Christians, and how they fit into what's happening currently with, Trump and what's projected to be affecting Israel and Israel's destiny. And a lot of them speak in Hebrew, so you got to be kind of knowing a little bit about their language and about what they're actually saying, because sometimes they'll annotate in English. But I really tune into what they're saying, because what they're saying is affecting the United States. And anybody that knows the influence that Jews have, especially the Orthodox and those who are very religious and they're Zionists, there's a big influence over America. And right now, we're seeing what I believe to be the big double cross. Trump is not going to confirm. I think he's going to leverage everything that he kind of subtly promised. This is why Israel really backed away from the deal that they just tried to cut in the last few hours. Actually, it's been today. They were supposed to go along with this deal, and they pulled back at the last minute, but supposedly they're back on board with the deal. And supposedly, and I haven't looked at the latest updates, but there's supposed to be a swap for hostages. But Israel supposedly is not coming out very good on on this deal. They don't like the deal, right? And Trump is giving a huge amount of, he's giving out a lot of perks to the other side, which Israel didn't want. Not to mention their land and the promise of a two-state solution, and not eradicating the leadership or the military of the Palestinians, which is Hamas. He hasn't done any of that. And Israel is not liking that deal. They're getting their hostages back, but they also have to release a bunch of quote unquote, terrorists that are possibly even the ones that were involved in October 7th. So this is not looking good for Israel. Israel is at least that's the way they're portraying it. And I know people like Amir, who's a Christian, very popular Zionist online that many people know and listen to. He doesn't seem to be very happy about it either. And he kind of has this sense that maybe Trump's going to double cross. And I think that there's a possibility that that could happen, especially with Netanyahu being in the place of leadership right now. I don't think Trump likes Netanyahu at all. I think he really hates Netanyahu, if you ask me. And I played you guys the clip last night of that a journalist. I think he's an author and a journalist, and he was talking about Netanyahu and calling him an evil, dark, and he used an expletive, and he basically ran in, did the rundown on why Netanyahu is so dark and evil, and Trump reposted it. Trump basically confirmed what he was saying in that video as what he believes. So you see right there, that's a big sign to Israel. Oh man, Trump's not on our side. Look what he's just said. And it's also a big open door for the Palestinians and the whole left wing of the world. Everybody on the left that's against Israel. It seems the tide has really turned. Since the whole response of Israel, and it seems as if they were kind of over the top, there seems to be a big push for anti-Semitism, right? This big movement of what they call as anti-Semitism is really criticism on a large, high level. You're talking governments that are calling for the arrest of Netanyahu. You're talking about a lot of big countries now, and the people are up in arms of what they think is what they believe is a genocide. And so this tide has turned. And so where are your negotiating, strengths going to be? With the majority, right? So you're going to appeal to the majority. So Trump is a negotiator. Trump is a deal maker. Trump is going to go where Trump is going to go. Palisades. Yes, it's very windy over there. Let's move over there. And by the way, getting to the fires are moving very strongly still. And there's supposed to be new winds coming. Listen to this. Can't make this up. The moisture and the rain that was supposed to have been here toward the end of this week or the next 2 days is no longer coming. And the humidity is going low once again. And they're saying Santa Ana winds are coming back on Monday, Tuesday of next week. And it's going to be stronger, possibly as strong or stronger as what started them again. Can you believe that? Tell me that's not crazy. And some are saying that this is engineered. This is done with a purpose and intent to clear out this area for the rail system that they had proposed to build in that area right along where the Palisades fire is and the Eaton fire and all these areas, but they're still not done, supposedly. This is what they're saying. This is the theory. This is the conspiracy. They're not done clearing the land yet. There's still more that needs to be done. And so they're engineering getting everything situated. And a lot of people are like, what? What are you talking about? How are they going to control the fires? How are they going to control wind? Well, first of all, you got the wind and you got the humidity. And if you can control that, then all you got to do is there's just got to be, a little ignition somewhere here or there. Now, one thing I was finding out that I thought was interesting is the other day, I was sitting there yesterday. In fact, I was looking at this channel that chronicles all of the fire department's incidences, right? And it basically just lists them as they come in Los Angeles. And I was sitting there looking at this, and I couldn't believe that there were so many dumpster fires. And literally, they were dumpster fires. That's what they call them. They call them dumpster fires. Or here, let me just show you. And there were so many, and it was just around the clock. It wouldn't stop. Like every 10 minutes, there would be another dumpster fire, 2 or 3. Some fire that's being a refuse. They call it a refuse fire. I think they call it a refuse fire. And every like 10 minutes, there would be 1 or 2 or maybe 3. Sometimes I'd see 4. And it was like every 10 minutes or so, you'd see another 1 or 2. I'm like, where are all these fires coming from? People are either lighting these fires, and they're all in the area where all these fires are. All in the LA area, right there in the Topanga and Palisade area, going up past the Palisades. And I started chronicling on a map, and I was typing in the addresses, and I was finding where they were at, and I would, do a direction search so it'd go to the next one. And they're all within like 3-4 miles of each other. And I'm talking like 20 of them. I chronicled 20 of them within a couple hours literally 20 fires that were in, they call them refuse fires, I think. And I was listening to the what they call the what do they call it? The feed where they're talking to each other on the radios. I forget what they call it. The radio feed of the fire department, and they're all talking to each other, talking about, oh, there was nothing there. Oh, there was a fire. They called the fire in here. There's nothing there. There was nothing there. You know, they go to the fire and it's nothing there. They're trying to. I think it sounds to me like they're trying to get the resources all occupied. Somebody's doing something to occupy resources by calling in false alarms. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. Oh, there's nothing over there. There's nothing there. Well, these are the dumpster fires, I call them. And I wonder if they're just to try to take up people's time. Here it is. This is the channel here I'm talking about. And I was just sitting here watching this and I couldn't believe it. I was like, what is this? Is this like legitimate going on right now? So this is the Los Angeles Fire Department. And look, you'll probably see a bunch of dumpster fires, like refuse garbage fire. You see that one right there at the bottom? And it gives you the time, 4:13. This is Pacific Standard Time. So right now, Pacific Standard Time, it's 4:22. So this fire was like 9 minutes ago. 9 minutes ago. Refuse garbage fire. 19150 West Ventura Boulevard, Los Angeles, California. So, you know, you sit here and you listen to this.
Engine 60 Rescue 78 SIG 5728 Beck Avenue.
And they're just talking, you know, back and forth about where they're going on the next incident. But I'll show you. I'll scroll back and I'll show you how many fires there are probably. And I haven't looked since last night, but looking right now, I bet you I'll find like 10 fires in like an hour, at least. At least. Let's look. Let me just pull it back here.
Rescue 33, Preston Road.
Okay, so we're going to go back. Okay, so this is at 4 o'clock. So you had a refuse, okay, 4:13. That was the one we just saw.
46 to a 6, 60, 16 Avalon.
Here's one at 4:04. So another refuse garbage fire, Burbank, 4:04. Let's see. Here's another one at 3:45. So that was like a half an hour, a little bit over half an hour ago. 3:45. And this is like well, we've already chronicled 4 in the last hour. Here's another one at 3:43. So you got one at 3:43, you got one at 3:45. 2 different addresses. Refuse garbage fires. Like, how often do garbage fires happen? I mean, what is a garbage fire really? Look at there's 3 of them in a row. 3:35, 3:43, and 3:45. So within 10 minutes, you got 3 fires right there, all at different addresses. All different addresses. Like, what is that? Like, is that normal? I mean, seriously, is that normal? That's like in the last hour. In the last hour, you got 3 garbage fires in like 10 minutes. 35 to 45. 3 garbage fires. So like I said, I don't get it. There's so many of these fires. Last night, it was happening like every 10 minutes. You'd see 1 or 2 or 3, sometimes just like this. Like, how can this happen? Like, here's another one, 3:33. So within 10 minutes, there was 4 fires in garbage cans at different places. And they're all within like 5 to 10 miles of each other. Like, I chronicle them out on the maps, and they're just like, they're all connected, like they're all in one area. And this is the area where all the fires are right above. Tell me that's just not weird. This is just, there's too many weird, I don't think these are coincidences. I don't think this is normal. I just don't think this is normal at all. What do you guys think? So this was just for the last hour. So I showed you everything for the last hour. That's been about 50 minutes. So you just saw me pull up in the last 50 minutes. You saw me pull up like 7 fires. There's about 7 of them that I just showed you in 50 minutes. So I don't know. I mean, you tell me what that is. And this is a live feed. If you want to follow that feed, it's called LA Captain on YouTube, LA Captain. So it must be some kind of channel that follows the fire department. And you can sit there and watch it for yourself. All right, so let's get to our feed here on Telegram. We're going to check out Telegram here and go through some news. Are you ready? Are you ready? All right, let's go through some news here. By the way, I just want to say hello to everybody in the chat. I didn't get to say hello. Super Dave, Candace, Cynthia, Cheyenne, the Book of Revelation revealed. No, that's not me preaching. That's a username. The Book of Revelation revealed. Neo Danium. What's going on, Neo? Gerardo. Let's see, who else? Cindy. Candace. I think I said Candace. And Red Silk. Pet Goat. All you guys out there. I fear Jesus only. Amen. Dap Drew. It's a scanner. That's it. Why can't I remember that? It's a scanner. Beloved One. By the way, Beloved One is the wife. This is my wife, Carla, and she does a great job chronicling a lot of what goes on Telegram. I usually just come back around and look at what she's posted. So for all you out there that read our Telegram page, we got a nice little donation there. My goodness, who is that? Gerardo. God bless you, brother. It's always good to have people that support what we do. We appreciate that so much. All for the glory of God. Amen. Give Gerardo a thumbs up, brother. Keep the momentum. We need some momentum here, guys. We need the momentum. Thank you for the encouragement. We appreciate that. But my wife, she does a great job, and she chronicles the news. She's always looking while she's taking care of babies, and I'm out doing other things. She's posting and looking up what we need to. We all do it together. Thank you. I love you too, brother. God bless. Okay, let's get into some news. Let's get into the news. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, so okay, there we go. All right, so here it is. Israel and Hamas ceasefire hostage deal has been officially signed. So, like I said, it was on again, it was off again, it's now back on. So they have officially signed. And this guy looks like he's awaiting Trump's arrival, and he looks very scared. I think that Trump really hates this dude. I think he really does. And I told you guys when all that happened back in the election of 2020, when Netanyahu was the first world leader to confirm Joe Biden, Trump went apoplectic. He literally lost it. From what I heard from some of the people that were in the insiders in his cabinet, some of the leaks, Trump went off. He lost it because Netanyahu basically he felt stabbed him in the back. So when you have that kind of mindset in Trump, it's only a matter of time. Trump is very patient. If you read any of his books, he waits for the right moment to get you back. And when he does, he'll get you back 10 times, 100 times worse than what you did to him. And that's what he feels about Netanyahu. And I'm going to tell you what, it translates to all of Israel, because Netanyahu, what you do to him is affecting all of Israel. Now, obviously, Trump will try to look like the good guy, I'm sure, in the outcome of what happens. it's always for, the best interest of all involved, right? This isn't going to be just about Israel. Believe me, the Muslim world is much bigger, and Trump wants to appeal to the largest crowd. Jews don't make up that large of a crowd. Now, they have a lot of influence, they have a lot of technology, and they're in key positions of influence in many governments around the world and in everything, tech, military, whatever it is. They are highly represented for such a small percentage of the population on planet Earth. But there are a lot of other people that would counter and would resist and maybe appealing to a deal-making president like Trump. So Trump plans to designate cryptocurrency as a national priority. We talked about that. We've talked a lot about how he wants to bring about the foundation of our economy to be based on crypto, which is also playing into the whole Elon factor and the everything app, which is going to be X. For those who don't know, X is going to be the app that will do all of your transactions, and it's going to probably facilitate cryptocurrency, the blockchain, and everything else that's going to be connected to it. And you can only imagine what they have in store for us, especially with the quantum computing and the AI and all the surveillance and everything else that's going on within the Starlink network and Elon's Neuralace. You got to just wonder what they really have up their sleeve. And I have a sneaky suspicion it has something to do with your veins and arteries. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you might want to go back and do a little research. Just go back and listen to yesterday's video. I talk a lot about that. Oh my gosh, breaking news. There's a red alert here. Oh wait. Okay. It's just breaking news. It is kind of a red alert. If I made just these big banners that said red alert all the time, I bet you we would get a huge crowd in here, but I don't want to do that because I don't want to scare everybody unnecessarily. Now, certain times you got to be a vigilant and alert, but I don't want to. I think that if we keep telling people things that aren't, and I got criticized for this the other day because I kind of corrected somebody in the past about hyping things up too much. I used to do that when I was, doing YouTube in the past. I used to hype people, and sensational titles and just the way you deliver the news, and it sometimes can get people overly excited, and that's good for views because a lot of people want to come and check out what's going on because it's kind of like going by a train wreck. You're going to look, everybody wants to stop and look at a train wreck, and so you're always looking for a train wreck, always trying to create a train wreck or make a train wreck in your title or whatever. And then you get a lot of people showing up, but we don't want to do that. We just want to put a big old banner that says red alert. The end of the world is at hand. No, but it really is kind of sort of. So I can understand why people want to hype it up, but man, you got to be real careful with how you frame things. And when you do give a warning, that people literally are going to take it serious and they're going to listen. They're not going to just think, oh, it's just another one of the red alerts. If you keep saying red alert, red alert, red alert, red alert all the time, then nobody's going to take you serious. So like I said, there's a channel out there that does that, and in a loving way, maybe I kind of trolled him a little bit. I don't know. I just said, hey, you might want to be careful on how you keep putting out red alerts. But anyways, here we go with the quartering. Jack Dorsey, who used to be the head of Twitter, this is a statement coming from people that are questioning why Elon is censoring channels that are critical of what he's doing. It's almost like he's taking it personal, and he's going on a vendettas against channels that are criticizing his policies or what he believes to be a good policy, especially in light of the immigration laws that Trump is actually backing. So somebody made a comparison to Jack Dorsey when Jack Dorsey was leading Twitter. If he was taking away check marks, because this is what Elon is doing, he's taking away check marks, leaking DMs of people and changing the algorithm because he was getting negative feedback, the right would be exploding. Yes, So if that was happening under Jack Dorsey, which they did do a lot of censorship and the right was exploding, but this is pretty in your face kind of censorship. And yes, it's happening to people on the right. It is happening to people on the right now. And that's why the right is tripping out. That's why the right is upset right now. And this is coming from people like, I don't know, some pretty conservative right-wing accounts. Elon Musk is doing the same thing right now, and most people are glazing him. It's disappointing, but not surprising. So this is the argument that I'm hearing from people, is that the individual... What the heck happened here? My computer just went offline here. Hold on. What is going on? Shoot, I didn't do that. Like my computer just did something really weird. All right. So what's going on here? Is somebody hacking me here? All right. Yeah, my computer was blinking on and off here everywhere. Okay, let's go back. So okay, so it goes on to say okay, so if they take away your blue check mark and you have a big account, I guess that kind of resets your account and you kind of start all over again. So he's made statements about, hey, what's the big deal? You got your check mark back, blah, blah, blah. Well, people are saying that it takes away your influence when they take it away and they give it back. It's kind of like a demerit, or, you're going into detention for a little bit. And then what happens is it puts a mark on your account, and then it de-algorithmically affects it. I guess that would be the right word. So it says the big deal is the impact it has on your reach after it's taken. Restoring it doesn't mean anything after that. You just have to keep paying for your account to be squashed after arbitrary punishment. So people are kind of frustrated with that. And, I'm kind of thinking the same thing, because what happened with me was I put the blue check mark back on because I was going to take it off, and I thought, okay, I'm going to do it. And this just happened yesterday. This is so weird. The timing of this is so weird. So I go ahead and I renew the check mark, and the check mark goes off and it says, we're reviewing your account. That's what it says. We're reviewing your account. It says blue. It says, but nobody can see this, only you. But your check mark will be back if the review, something that tells you if it passes, right? So I'm thinking, what the heck? We paid. Why would it be in review? Why are they reviewing my account? I barely even use it anyway. So I'm thinking that's kind of odd, right? And then I see these posts and I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe they're doing my account too, because that's weird. So I should have took a screenshot of it. I didn't realize that this was going on until today. This happened yesterday. Is that weird? It happened to me yesterday. So, but they did give me back the check. They did give me back the check mark, and it went back to normal, but for a while there, it says we're reviewing your account. So maybe this means something. I don't know. More censorship, right? So Grok 2 is the AI that Twitter uses, or X uses, I should say X. This is their AI embedded AI, right? So somebody asked it a question, and it says, based on the provided sources, and they're talking about listen to this. They're talking, oh shoot, I didn't put the right, gosh darn it. I don't think I added the right thing there. Okay, here it is, yeah. So it says, based on the sources, here are the specific numbers for account suspensions. Jack Dorsey's tenure, over 13 years, approximately 1.6 million accounts were suspended, right? That's over 13 years. Look at Elon Musk's tenure. Over the first half of 2024, he has suspended 5.3 million accounts. That comes directly from the AI that's embedded within X, which they call Grok. I have no idea what that means. I should look that up. It's probably some idol god or something. So let's see what Grok means. I never have really looked at this. The meaning of Grok. It's a word coined by Robert A. Hinlein in his 1961 novel Stranger in a Strange Land, meaning understand intuitively or by empathy. Right. In other words, sentient. Right? It's a sentient AI. It has empathy. It feels. It knows something intuitively. Oh, it all makes sense now. So yeah, the AI is sentient. It does feel, has feelings, and it is self-aware, and it understands things more than you know. But yeah, give Gerardo a thumbs up and give him a little comment there. That's pretty awesome. I appreciate that, Gerardo. It's cool. It's cool the way they got this set up where it works like this. This is really great. It helps get the word out too. Okay, so we got let's see what else we got here. Israeli Security Cabinet will convene on Friday. It says here on Friday morning to vote on the deal. The full government plenary will vote on Saturday night. The ceasefire and release of hostages is expected on Monday. This is coming from Axios. And I guess Ben Gvir is going to resign. And I think he didn't like the deal. And I think is he the defense minister? He said he would come back if Israel was back at war with Hamas. Until then, he's going to resign. Is that crazy? Okay, here's the upcoming Santa Ana winds next week, and they could be the strongest since the night the LA fires broke out. This is coming from the San Francisco Chronicle.com. San Francisco Chronicle.com. We'll go take a look at that really quick. Oh, no, they want me to pay to get in there to see it? Come on. I hate these stupid ads. Okay, here's what you do. If you can't and you don't want to pay in to get it, you just go to archive.com or archive.is and somebody has archived it. Hallelujah, I can go look at it. So that's the way you do it, and you don't have to sit there and look at ads. Somebody archived it. Okay, so this is San Francisco Chronicle.com, and this is showing the winds that are incoming. The European weather model simulates strong winds over Southern California on Tuesday morning, which is only in about 3 days or 4 days. The exact timing and strength of the upcoming Santa Ana winds is still uncertain. However, after 9 straight days of Santa Ana winds, the Los Angeles area will finally get a reprieve from critical fire weather conditions this weekend. Unfortunately, the break won't last long. Another round of strong Santa Ana winds is possible on Monday through Wednesday. Winds could be the most widespread and strongest since the January 7th event that contributed to the spread of the Palisades and Eaton fires. The big story is that it just looks very dry all week, all next week, with a growing risk of red flag warnings. This is coming from a meteorologist at the National Weather Service in Oxnard. So they're saying that this is all coming back, guys. And they're saying that the humidity levels are very low, which is bad for fires. And the winds are coming back, which are bad for fires. It's probably going to be, cool. Obviously, it's winter, but still, if there is any kind of fire event with strong winds, and we're talking about the Santa Ana winds, you're going to have fires again. And the fires are still not out. There is still a Palisades fire, and I think it's still not contained. It's still got about 70% contain or 30% containment, I think. This is showing footage of the Eaton fire and what literally is going on there. This is just absolutely crazy footage. Let me just show you guys how bad this is. This is just absolutely crazy footage.
you look down here, every single house is just destroyed. This is unbelievable. Like, all of Altadena is just gone, basically. Like, every single thing here. I mean, over here too, it's just all destroyed.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Very bad. That is absolutely crazy. Let's see what else we got here.
Los Angeles 2.0.
Oh my gosh, sorry. Okay, this guy here, it says 15-minute smart cities, or as I like to say, Trump calls them freedom cities. These are freedom cities that Trump is going to be, you're going to hear it by the term freedom city, not smart cities. When Trump's in office, it's going to be called freedom cities. And it says that by 2028, the 15-minute smart cities in Los Angeles were proposed in these areas, by the way. And the rail system, which is a high-speed rail system, was proposed in the same areas where all the fires are. Isn't that weird? I think it's very bizarre. And it looks so crazy when they interviewed Gavin Newsom, the governor. He looked giddy. He looked happy. He looked like he was expecting this great investment for the rebuilding, but he's talking about the Olympics. He's talking about all these great things that California is going to be doing for world attention. He's not talking about the people. He's not talking about all the lives that have been totally, completely uprooted and destroyed. It doesn't even seem like he cares. All he's thinking about is the Olympics and what other projects they got going. And he's just going on, and then he did that little wiggle thing. Did you see that? Where he's like, and the investors are coming in and they're buying up all the property. And it was like, what is he doing? He's got this weird smile on his face. I mean, it was so bizarre. Well, you got to just check this. We'll just look at this really quick and see what this guy had to say. He's talking about Los Angeles 2.0.
Angeles 2.0. They're not even trying to hide it anymore. 15-minute cities, here they come. Our good friend Gavin Newsom can't control his enthusiasm. He's smiling ear to ear. There's still houses on fire. Oh, how convenient. A smart city in LA by 2028, just in time for the Olympics. They are telling you to your face what they're doing. And he can't contain himself.
And all that opportunity and that pride and spirit that comes from not just hosting those three iconic games and venues, but also the opportunity, I think, to rebuild at the same time. And that's why we're already organizing a Marshall Plan. We already have a team of looking and reimagining LA 2.0, and we're making sure everyone's included, not just the folks on the coast, people here that were ravaged by this disaster.
You just said you're organizing a Marshall Plan for the rebuilding of California. What is that Marshall Plan? Tell us about this Marshall Plan.
We're just starting to lay out. I mean, we're still fighting these fires. So we're already talking to city leaders. We're already talking to civic leaders. We're already talking to business leaders and nonprofits. We're talking to labor leaders. We're starting to organize how we can put together a collection of individuals on philanthropy for recovery, how we can organize the region, how we can make sure that we are seeking federal assistance for the Olympics more broadly, but also federal assistance for the recovery efforts.
You see how he says the Olympics first? That's really what's on his mind. He just goes back to the helping people as an addendum, like, as he has to, because he'll look really stupid and evil and, scum-like, as his name suggests. He looks like a scumbag for not caring about the people. And so he has to add that. And whenever he adds, and the people, you can see his tone and his body language changes. But when he's talking about the rebuilding of the city, he's all animated and he's just like, he's all like got smiles from ear to ear. It's going to be amazing. And, but the people, we got the people we got to take care of too. You look at the people, we got to build, and that's the way it goes. He doesn't give a damn about the people. And everybody sees it. He can't even hide that. Everybody knows. It is just so sad. But anyways, this one here is, I think I showed you that already. Okay, let's go back over here. This woman, I feel so sorry for her. She basically shows her house and how it's completely gone. And she just looks like she's in complete shock. She says, this is our home. We lost it in the Palisades fire earlier this week. And she says the most important thing is that we're all safe. Myself, my partner, and Doc. I guess that might be her animal, or Doc was probably her dog or something. As well as my partner's parents who lost their home the same night. So she lost her home, and his partner's parents lost their home at the same night. So here she is, just showing what looks to be like nothing left of their home. I mean, it's just a bunch of rubble and ashes. So sad. My goodness. Just absolutely horrifying. I mean, you know, and it is material things. It is just, thank God that they got out with their lives and that they're not, you know, dead. But, you know, a lot of people this is everything they got. You know, they might not have insurance. And by the way, you guys remember the dream I shared with you? And I looked it up today. I went back to find out what I said, because at the time that I had the dream and I shared with you guys the dream, it was on the 8th, the morning of the 8th. The fires started in Los Angeles on the 7th. Sometime in the afternoon, I think going into late afternoon, is when they started getting a little more intense. And that's about the time when people started realizing, uh-oh, this is not good, right? Well, that next day and that morning, I woke up and I had a dream. And I shared the dream on one of the broadcasts on that day on the 8th. And in the dream, I saw people on a cliff. Okay, they're hanging onto the cliff, you know, and if you've ever seen anybody that climbs mountains, they usually have like gear, they have ropes, they have like these things they stick inside the wall of the cliff, so that in case their rope breaks, they still have something to hang on to, you know, in case that the worst thing happens, at least you got your little spikes and you don't fall to your death. Well, what I saw was people, all kinds of people on the side of this cliff, and they were losing their grip and they were falling. Like everybody's little thing that they would put inside the wall would come out, and then they would fall, and the next one would fall, and the next one. It was like people were just falling off this cliff. And so I was sitting there watching this, and when I woke up, I told my wife about this, and then I saw what was going on in the news and how bad it was. And then I realized, well, maybe this dream has something to do with people, you know, losing their lives or something was going on. Well, I started thinking about it today. And what that little thing is, and anybody that climbs mountains will know this, or cliffs or whatever, cliff climbers or whatever they call them. I used to live in you know, up by Yosemite, and there would be people that would climb the Yosemite rock. You know, they got the half dome, and people would climb the outside of these rocks, and it's very dangerous, but you got to know what you're doing, right? Anyways, those, and I don't know what they're called, but they put them in the wall or inside of the wall, and then they kind of like, they have like little holes where they can put it in there. I was thinking about it today. That is your insurance. In case you fall, right? That's insurance. That represents people's insurance. Because if you happen to slip and fall, that thing is supposed to hold you from falling to your death. Okay, so people's insurance wasn't working. That's what the dream was. People were coming down and falling off the cliff because their insurance wasn't going to save them. Their houses are gone and they have no insurance. People's insurance was being canceled everywhere. A few months before, all of these people in Los Angeles, they said there was so many people that were losing their insurance, their fire insurance. They weren't insuring people, and they were going to the homeowners and they were pulling the insurance policies. Tell me that's not weird, right? And so people were literally they're losing everything, and now they got to just sell the land. All they have is empty land, and they got to sell it just to survive and to maybe find something else where they could go move to. So I didn't really even think about it until today, but that little thing that they put in the wall is their insurance. And that's why people were falling. And I could see them too. There was some of the people that I was watching in the dream, they were sliding down the hill or down the thing, and their thing wasn't holding on, and then it just let go and they would fall. And then the next one, and then the next one. I just saw so many people falling. And that was what I woke up to, and I came on and I talked about it. And that was on the 8th of January. So, you know, and I didn't even really put it together until today. I started thinking about it, and I'm like, you know, I think that had to do with their insurance failing. Their insurance is failing. That's what it is. People are losing everything because their insurance isn't covering it. And these terrible people, they want them to sell. That's what they do. They want everybody to sell their properties so that they can build what they want to build in there. And then the rest of the people that didn't, you know, capitulate, they're going to do eminent domain or something, and they're going to just kick them off their land. That's probably what's going to happen. So this is a picture current for today. So at Los Angeles is still burning. I'm not sure where this is, but this is something we can look at here. Let me look at this as a video. Yeah. So they're saying that that's today. And here's another article, San Francisco Chronicle. This could be the strongest since LA Friday. Didn't we just read that? Did we post that twice? 453. Let me see. We might have posted that twice. Yeah, that's a double post. Sorry about that. We just get rid of that. All right. Proof that there was no response to LA Pacific Palisades fire for 45 minutes. This thing went on for 45 minutes. They could have stopped it. They could have quashed it. They could have nipped it in the butt, you know, before it got out of hand, but there was no response. And then when they got there, there was no water. They said that they couldn't believe that the water had run out so quick. A former attorney for the Biden-Harris administration has video proof that Los Angeles firefighters took 44 minutes to respond to his call reporting the Pacific Palisades fire. It could have been contained if they had arrived sooner.
They claim they didn't see any response until 45 minutes after they called 911.
It's hard to believe, Elizabeth, but I wouldn't have believed it either until I saw the video. You know, Michael Valentine, he's a former U.S. attorney for 8 years under Kamala Harris. He and his wife, they live at the top of Pacific Palisades, right next to this ridge line where the fire broke out. He says his wife called at 10:29 a.m. Tuesday morning. That's when they first saw it, and they didn't see anybody come for at least about a half an hour, 45 minutes before they dropped some water. He documented it all on video, giving News Nation an exclusive look of where it started and how quickly it grew. By 10:50, the plume had spread considerably, twice as large. 8 minutes later, the size of the fire seems to have doubled yet again. Still nobody fighting the fire. At 11:13 a.m., nearly 45 minutes after Michael's wife called in the fire, you see a chopper come through. At 11:23, a helicopter comes in, begins to dump water on it. But at this point, the fire is massive and moving quickly down this ridgeline.
Yep. That's the slow response. You're never going to stop anything with a response like that. All right. Lincoln Park Zoo in Illinois reports that a harbor seal and flamingo death is due to the bird sneeze. Can you believe that? No, I can believe it. It's coming. Believe me, guys. This is another part of the puzzle pieces that are coming together here they're going to bring shock and awe. And this is a part of the Trump agenda as well, to push their investment. This is an investment, part of their investment portfolio, Just look at Vance, what they're all invested in. It's all part of their technologies as well to push the nanobots. I know that sounds bizarre, but the nanobots are very important, and they need to be inside your body, and they need to get them in there quick because it's all a part of that technology that they're rolling out. Elon has talked extensively about it. Go look at Plantire, I think it's called, the company that Vance is heavily invested in. And that's the main reason why Trump probably picked him, because this is a part of the surveillance and all these technologies that are all coming together inside the body. It's all about that whole deal there. They're wanting to get your chickens. They're wanting to get your eggs. We've been telling you this for over a year and a half now, that they want to take away your chickens and your eggs and your beef. That's obviously been a very big part of the WEF, or World Economic Forum's agenda. But now, as we kind of saw back a year and a half or so ago, we knew that this was going to be the way that they were going to try to get and take away a vital part of, everybody loves eggs, and eggs are so important and very nutritious. They're one of the best things you could eat. That's why there was always been a campaign against, it's got cholesterol, it's going to give you heart disease, and you shouldn't eat that, because they know that if you eat eggs, you're basically supplying your body with all kinds of good vitamins and minerals and, things that cause little chicks to grow without even needing water or food for like 3 or 4 days. They don't even need water or food for 3 days after they come out of their egg, because they got all that nutrients from the yolk. And if you eat eggs regularly, you're going to be very healthy. Plus, eggs are used in everything anyway. Now, when they take away eggs and they take away beef, and they take away your milk, they take away, that's going to lower your immune system. That's going to make you more susceptible to their plan anyway. And this is the plan. This is the plan. Eat the bugs and you will be happy. You're not going to own anything. You will have a 15-minute city and a UBI, and you will not be having a job either, because that's what the robots are for, right? They're going to take over all these jobs here real soon, guys. And on the chopping block is anything to do with, has any all these jobs that have to do with like bank tellers, like any kind of stalkers in stores, or what do they call them? The cash register people that do the cashiers. Those jobs are all going to go away. All these types of jobs, anything that has to do with any basic calculations, people that are crunching numbers, all this is going to be taken over by AI and robotics and everything. And this is why everybody's going to be out of jobs, and they're going to need to give you the universal basic income. They're going to create these smart cities. Everybody's going to be herded into them. Trump's calling them freedom cities. Oh, it's America's freedom. We're going to take a little bit and we're going to make 10 of these big, large cities, and people are going to, it's going to be the joy of the world, and everybody's doing it. All the other countries are doing it. We're going to use our cryptocurrencies and we'll give you free internet. You can have your little cubicle. You can only go they call it 15-minute cities because you only go 15 minutes and you can't go anywhere else, right? It's like a little prison. Everything will be provided for you in that 15-minute little area, right? And so you're going to be like Soylent Green. You're going to be, how many of you guys ever saw that movie Soylent Green? They're going to take away your protein. You're going to have green, yellow, and red. No, I don't know if that's okay, but I'm sure it's going to be bugs. Your protein is going to come from bugs. And they're going to just grow it for you right there, and they'll probably provide it for you, and it's going to be very high priced probably. I don't know. Maybe they'll give it to you for free. But exoskeletons are very bad for you, so you probably don't want to eat too much bug protein, because exoskeletons have some toxins in them and they are harmful to your body. And depending on which kind of bugs you eat, the Bible, I think, warns against eating bugs for a reason. But anyways, this avian thing is spreading. This avian sneeze in China now is spreading all over the place. There's supposedly been 100 confirmed human cases in mainland China. just like it was before, right before the Chinese New Year, when everybody got on planes and went to the four winds of the earth, taking along their sneezing everywhere, and they were spreading it all over the place right at the time of their Chinese New Year. Doesn't it seem like it's kind of repeating history here? Here we go. They're getting ready for their New Year, and Trump's coming in. Here we go. Trump coming in, New Year coming in, influenza's spreading everywhere, and they're talking about taking away our chicken. You've already seen. Have you tried to go get eggs lately? How much are your eggs? I know I've seen the prices of eggs go up by $2 in probably the last month. I do a lot of shopping. I always look at prices, and eggs used to be around $3 to $4 for the regular kind of eggs, the GMO'd kind of eggs. Those are just the eggs that you can get at a farm, like one of these big outfits that make them, that GMO'd the chickens, shoot them up with all kinds of hormones and, steroids and everything else to keep them healthy, right? And those eggs are about $4 a dozen. But you get the organic now, they're over $10 a dozen. And the GMO eggs are almost $6 a dozen. They used to be like $2.50, $2. Sometimes I'd see them for $2. You could get them in the big 60 packs for, I think I would see them for like, what was it? 22 or something like that, 20 something. I think it was right around there for like the 60 pack. But now they're getting up there $40-$50. I mean, seriously, people. I'm telling you. I told you guys a year ago. Remember, I said chickens are going to be laying golden eggs. You're going to want to get some chickens, just like I told everybody, go get the masks. Get your masks because they're going to be going up in price. You want to invest? Go buy some chickens. It might be too late. I don't know how much more time. They're going to come after backyard chickens now. They're going to be sending armed robot police to your door to get your chickens. Give us your chickens or we will shoot. Come on, Trump says they are bad for you and you will die if you eat them. So please give them to us. Seriously, here come the drones. Iran adds 1,000 new drones to military arsenal, and it braces for more friction with Israel and the U.S. Look at that. That's going to be something else. Iranian army received a delivery of 1,000 new drones on Monday as the country prepares for potential increased tensions with Israel and the United States. Oh boy, Trump's going to show off right when he gets in. Shock and awe. Right like he said. Look.
With the permission of the General Commander, the order to add 1,000 strategic unmanned aerial vehicles to the combat organization of the General Army of the Islamic Republic of Iran is announced.
Okay, enough with the dramatic music. So basically, this is just, I don't know why they want this goes on for another 3 minutes. I can't believe that this video is so long, just showing off these drones. Okay, so basically, yeah, there's a lot of drone technology they have, right? And they're showing off what they got. Okay, that's good. What did he say? We have more military capabilities than we had previously. The strength, okay. Islamic Republic of Iran has increased daily. We are ready to defend this great nation with all of our might. So they're expecting a conflict right now, definitely with Israel and the U.S. Big boost to Iranian military amid tensions in West Asia. And they do have hypersonics. They do have hypersonic missiles, so Iran holds nuclear talks with European powers on January 13th. Really? Oh, at Babylon. This is a Babylonian inspired building there. Iran Deputy Foreign Minister meets France, Britain, and German leaders. I guess that happened a few days ago. Amazing. He doesn't look too happy. Iran and European powers hold discussions on mutual interests. He looks like somebody I know. Why is that? He kind of looks like Assad almost, doesn't he? Iran and European leaders discussed Tehran's nuclear program. Did you hear that they claimed that Israel had put bombs inside of their centrifuges? I don't know if it was parts or if they had somebody sneak in. There's some kind of plant in there. I don't know how they could have accused Israel of doing that, but that was kind of an interesting story the other day. Iran asked European powers to lift sanctions imposed on it. I'm sure that's not going to happen. Iran and European nations agree to continue the dialogue. And there is Putin. Iran to ink comprehensive partnership treaty with Russia. I heard about this recently. So supposedly they're going to be entering into a compact with Iran to protect them in the next few days. And this is in preparation and anticipation of Trump coming in, because they know Trump has already threatened Iran for Israel. He's basically made a big boast about going in and dealing with Iran. But maybe he'll just go after Hamas because it's an easier target, right? Who knows? I guess we're going to find out. Let's see what else we got here. Really quickly, we'll go through a few more articles here before we go. This is 6,000 troops have been mobilized in Washington, D.C. ahead of Trump's inauguration. Oh, by the way, the inauguration on Saturday, for all you guys that are here that want to get into the deep dive on the Osiris rising ritual that happens every inauguration since George Washington, the Masons have been doing this Osiris rising ritual right there in D.C. And Tom Horn, in his great research, has uncovered, and he passed away not too long ago, kind of weird, but he was the one that kind of spearheaded a lot of this information and bringing it to the public's attention and putting the pieces together from the occult as well, the occult world and the Egyptian rituals of the ancient Egypt and Roman influences, and really the origins and history of our country and the layout of D.C., the architecture, the men that populated that supposedly were Christian, when many of them were deists. They weren't even Christians. George Washington was not a Christian. He was a deist. And he basically went through the ritual of deification, and you can see it right there in the Capitol building, the apotheosis of George Washington. And basically, it's a big ritual that simulates we can go really deep into this. We're going to do that. I'm not going to go into it now, but there is a documentary that you can watch. And if you're a part of our Patreon discussion group, which we're going to do a conference on this, there's 100 seats available on our Patreon. So if you want to get involved and do this discussion on Saturday, we're going to get in there and we're going to record it. I may post it on YouTube, the discussion itself. But if you want to participate and get in and get into the deep dive on all the other topics that we also go through on Patreon, you can also support us in the same. It's two birds with one stone. You're keeping us here on the air. You're getting us to get the message out as far as we can and as wide as we can. More people are going to hear it. The more people get involved. The more you participate, the more people are going to find out about it. So it's all up to you guys how far you want this message to get out. You have the opportunity to help promote it too by sharing and discussing it right there in our Zoom chat. So there's a lot of information that we're going to go through, and we're going to open up the mics. Make sure you have a microphone. And if you have a webcam just like this, put your webcam up. You can be on the air and hanging out with us on webcam as well. You don't have to be on webcam. Some people are a little bit shy. You can just use your microphone if you want. But hey, come on in and discuss with us what you think. We're going to get into the deep information on this. And it is very interesting. Very interesting. And it all relates to what's happening currently in our news. What's so amazing. Prophecies that are going all the way back to the time of Christ predicted that in 2025, we would be seeing the Messiah arise. You can't make this up. There's a number of different prophecies that have talked about this. Even in the Zohar, it talks about 2025 as well. So you're going to want to come over there and check this out. Definitely don't miss this. I haven't seen really a whole lot of people talking about this. So you're going to get the deep dive on this with us. 6,000 troops have been mobilized in Washington, D.C. ahead of Trump's inauguration. Look at this. Wow. And a lot of those guys look like they're Islamic. No, some of them, they don't look, I don't know. Man, that's kind of weird. Maybe it's true that they recruited a bunch of these people that came over illegally, and they promised them citizenship if they go to do our wars. They recruit them into the military, and they say, if you become a military guy, and we send you out on the front lines, and you'll earn your citizenship. That's what they're saying. A lot of these guys are coming in for the next war. What do you think? Russia and Iran will sign a 20-year strategic partnership agreement this Friday. So that's going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow is the signing. Isn't that interesting, the timing, right before the inauguration of Trump? Because, Trump said the first day, shock and awe. So if there's shock and awe inside of Iran, do you think Russia's going to have shock and awe on the United States? What do you think? Is Russia going to retaliate? Okay. Well, National Security Minister Ben Gvir says that if the deal goes through, we will resign from the government. If war resumes, they will return. Now, Ben Gvir, let's just see who he is. I can't remember if he's like a defense minister. Let me just see really quick. He is a national security, minister of national security. So he's minister of national security since 2022. He probably heads up a portion of the government that has to do with security. So that's interesting. And then you got lots of people protesting in Israel right now. Lots of people upset about this deal. And a lot of people are in favor of the deal. A lot of people want their loved ones back. And it looks like Hamas may make good on their promise to give back the hostages if they get a lot of their fighters back. And they get the two-state solution back on the table, and they don't have to leave the land, because they're really, and they were, the Israelis, I think they wanted to take over everything. They wanted to build their little Ben Gurion canal through there. They wanted to take the coastal lands. They wanted to have their, what do they call them? The settlers go in there and reclaim the land. So doesn't look like it's going to happen now with Trump, right? We'll see. I guess that's what Amir said. Well, I'll just wait for the next 30 days to see what Trump does. And then if he doesn't do what he said he's going to do, we're going to get really mad. I think it's going to be the big betrayal. The Bible does talk about Israel being betrayed. Remember? They get betrayed. And that's why the wings of an eagle come. And I think that has something to do with why they're taken to a place where they can't be harmed for a period of time. And then the dragon goes after the seed of the woman, or the offspring, which is you and me, if you're a Christian. He's coming after you and me. Okay. A lot of those MAGA people, I don't even know if the MAGA people, if they're, if they say they're evangelicals, I have to wonder where they stand with God, because they're not discerning the signs of the times, and they don't realize that they're riding the beast system. They're riding the beast. And you remember what happens to the woman that rides the beast, don't you? Okay, that's what happens. Double cross. The big double cross. Settler Activists rally against hostage deal. Trump promised hell for Gaza, and he is giving us hell. This is what a settler says about the Trump deal or the hostage deal. So they're saying that Trump has promised to give hell to Gaza, but he's now giving us hell. The Israelis, the settlers, those who wanted to go in to repossess the land, right? The settlers aren't going to get what they wanted. And the settlers are a part of the front of the government itself to go in to reclaim, to take back what they believe is theirs, the greater Israel, right? Well, a lot of Christians believe, well, if you go and split the land, well, then God's going to split you. God's going to take it out on you. You're going to have all kinds of terrible things happen to you. Don't speak out against Israel. You got to bless Israel, because if you say anything against Israel, God's going to hit you with the lightning bolt. You know, and I would just say this. Jesus spoke out against the Israelis and their government, at least the religious government. And yeah, a lightning bolt did come down, and it was basically metaphoric. It was definitely, it was an earthquake. And what did it do? It didn't hurt Jesus. Jesus was resurrected, but it destroyed the temple, or at least it cracked it wide open. And then later on, about 70 years later, it was taken, and everything else was decimated and destroyed. And the dysphoria took place for 2,000 plus years. Yeah, that one guy I want to talk to on once I get all his videos digested, I really want to chat with that guy. I'll show you this guy's videos in a little bit. This is our scheduled meeting. This is a little bit, I can give you a little taste of this. Maybe I'll just let you guys go look at it. If you go on our Telegram page, you can come up here and check this out. It'll give you more information on what we're going to be showing you and what we're going to be talking about that you yourself can participate in. So don't worry. This is a very interesting conversation here. This is chilling. You know who Sean Ryan is, right? He is a former SEAL team member. I believe he's also got connections to the intelligence community. He's broken a lot of stories. He has an intelligence operative that's currently writing for him as well. He's talking to somebody here, has a very thick foreign accent. Kind of sounds, I don't know if it's Ukrainian. Let me see. Let me just listen to that again. Tell me what you think this accent is here.
Is predicting 50.
Let's just
Al-Qaeda.
I'll just let you watch it, because I was going to just tell it to you, but let's just go ahead and watch it. It's pretty interesting here.
Al-Qaeda, these terrorist organizations, the Islamic Army is predicting 50 to 60,000 casualties within the United States alone. We talk about 9/11 was a $500,000 budget. Mm-hmm. Now we're sending $40 to $87 million. You know, what is there any? Through your network, have you heard anything about 50 to 60,000 casualties?
I mean, if you see that it's going to, I mean, they are talking about mass casualties. Mm-hmm. Okay, that was mentioned several times. And it's really not about to show off, okay? I mean, if you see the 9/11 attack, it was all about, destroying symbols, and I'm really not about numbers. I mean, 3,000 people died. Now it's all about mass slaughter. And because that's going to paralyze the entire nation. Mm-hmm. And it's not just about the casualties. Just imagine that services will be shut down. Hospitals will be overwhelmed, taking care of casualties still. I'm not even talking about economic impacts. I mean, if it's happening just at the same time in several big American cities, airlines, they will be stopped for sure. Standard operation procedure. So the economic impact of this and the chaos what it's bringing within.
The hospitals will be overflowed. Mm-hmm. The first responders, being the police, that will be completely taxed. Mm-hmm. There won't be enough of them.
Well, this is the scenario that we've been telling you guys is a possibility for quite some time, and we've been telling you guys to prepare. The time is now. We're probably on the doorstep now. It's probably a little too late if you're not already ready. There are probably little things you can do, but I think that we're about to see a conflict break out in the world that's going to affect the U.S. like we've never seen before. And these are coming from people that are tapped into the intelligence. This guy has a show on YouTube that has millions and millions of subscribers. Trump even came on his show, I think. Trump was on his show. He interviewed Trump not too long ago. His name is Sean Ryan. For those who don't know him, and they've talked about a potential Mumbai style attack, and I told you guys about that a while back. I said I think what's going to probably happen is you're going to have trained teams of Islamic terror type groups that are going to be highly trained. And did you see that bust that just happened where they found all those explosives and weapons and everything inside of that apartment the other day? That's probably exactly what was being planned they caught one of them. But you know how many hundreds, if not thousands of people are probably in our country that are planning the same thing? Okay, so that's a reality. That's a very real possibility of these things happening. I'll give you a little example. My wife reminded me of this, and I totally forgot about it. How many of you guys were hanging out with us back like 12, 13 years ago? You'll remember me telling this story. This is a legitimate story too. I mean, I know firsthand. I talked to the woman that told me this. Is there anybody here that's been around for quite a while? I know. Exactly, Jeff B. Exactly. We basically shot ourselves in the foot. It's pretty much a done deal now. I don't think there's any turning back. And Trump is there to oversee the chaos. You know, he's there to oversee it. Drew, you've been around. Tap Drew, you've been around for a while. Super Dave, for like, what, 12 years at least? 10 or 12 years? Who's been here for at least 10 years? Who's been listening to me for at least 10 years? You'll remember this story if you have, because I told it a while back a few times. You've been around for at least 7? Okay, Gerardo. All right, so I used to, and okay, to the pandemic. Okay, so here's the story. I used to live up in the Sierra Nevadas when I was in California. Mock the Freak, who are you? Tell me what your other name was, because I don't know that name. That name, I'm not sure. Anyway, so what happened was I used to live up in the mountains, and some of you guys may remember we did a mountain get together, and a bunch of people from the online church came up. Sandy Sanderson, really? I'm not sure. I'm not 9 years, really. I'm trying to remember who all you. I'm not familiar with some of the names. I know people change their handles all the time, so. Yeah, Fig Beater, she's been here a long time. I know that for sure. Scott's been here for at least 13 years. Yes, I don't see Scott in the chat though right now, but I know Eden's been here for a long time. Eden's been here for at least 12 or 13 years. Okay, so Sandy, you've been here at least 10, really? Dang. So here's what happened. You guys might remember this story. Eden, tell me if you remember this story. Do you remember that story I told everybody about? And I might have said it a few times. I used to live up in the mountains, and there was a little community up there that I used to be living in. And one of the ladies had a store. I used to go in. It was like a secondhand store, go in there and buy some stuff, cheap stuff that we needed. And the lady, she used to always have conversations with her, and we'd talk about different things. I'd try to witness to her sometimes. And she told me one time, she told me this story because she used to be a real estate agent. She used to show properties and things. And she said one time, and it's true, because when you live up in these rural communities, especially in the mountains, there's like rural roads that go out, and you got people that live on these out in the middle of nowhere kind of properties, and sometimes they're a little sketchy, you know. They're like Jim Bob. They got their shotguns, and they don't want nobody coming on our property or I'll shoot you. I got a big old sign that says don't trespass, or you got skull and bones, and, you know, 2 tried, 1 died, you know, kind of thing. 2 have tried and 1 has died. Don't you dare test your luck. But anyways, that's the kind of things that you see up in the mountains sometimes. How many of you guys know what I'm talking about? Sierra Nevadas. Anyways, and I'm talking about anywhere in the United States that has out of the way kind of properties. You're going to find people like that. But anyways, so what happened was she told me this story about how they went to go show this property, or it's this person. There was a property that was, I don't know what it was. They were up there looking at a property, and this guy comes up the side of the road. He's obviously like Middle Eastern, and he says, "Hey, come here." They weren't up there to see his property, but he said he wanted to show him something. He goes, "Come here," and they came up. It was a husband and wife team, and they stopped, and they're out in the middle of nowhere, so you always got to be careful when you're in the mountains somewhere and you don't know who the heck's calling you over. And they decide they're going to go in and look, talk to the guy. And he goes, I want to show you something. And he takes them into the back, and he's got this area in the back, like a big, I don't know, it looked like, she told me it was like a barracks. It was this big, long building, and it had all of these bunk beds, bunk bed after bunk bed after bunk bed. And it was just long. And she said it looked like a barracks, some kind of like training ground or something. She didn't know what it was. And he was telling her all this weird stuff. And the stuff, they said they got freaked out. And they looked at each other like the husband and wife, and they go, let's get out of here. Like they were like, we're going to leave. So they started to leave. Listen to this. So as they're on their way out, they're all freaked out, right? And the guy starts yelling and screaming. He starts yelling and screaming. He says, you don't know what you're doing. He said, you see this tree right here? You see this tree? When this tree is this big, you will all be dead. And he was like yelling at the top of his lungs, and he was like Islamic. Okay. Tell me that's not a creepy story. That is, honest to God, true. This lady told it to me firsthand, and I know she's not lying to me. So you tell me that that's not weird. Do you remember me telling you that, Drew? You remember that, huh, Drew? I told that story, and I'll tell you, that is honest to God truth. That woman told me that, and I was like, wow. Really? One of the moderators banned you? That's crazy, Cheyenne. KLY yelled at you for what? What did he yell at you? Caps means, because you're yelling? I know, that's so stupid. I don't know why people get all upset. Why are you got it typing in caps? How dare you? How dare you? I'm going to ban you if you type in caps. Some of these moderators, they get this this authority complex. Like, I'm the authority here. You do what I say. I don't like the way you said that. If you say it again, I'm going to ban you. It's like, what? And you met that lady. And my wife, she met her too. She met her, and she knows. And she was a realtor, and she owned a thrift store. Yes, it's absolutely true. Were you there when she told me that, or was it just me? I think I relayed the message to you too, right? I don't think you were there when they told me that. Okay, so Jeff B, you tell me what you think, since you're kind of, tapped in. That story that I just told, what do you think about that? What do you think that means? You said that's the Stasi. What do you mean by that? Are you talking about what I said? Jeff B, tell me what you think. Because I know that, if you're who you say you are, you should kind of have some kind of insight into that. What would that mean? Give me some feedback. Terrifying secret police. They were the most terrifying secret police in history. The most terrifying secret police. Your name is Shamik and it's Hebrew. Cool. Lookner bans everybody. If you say something wrong in any way, the mods will ban you over there. Oh, his mods? Yeah. Lookner's mods are like the Stasi. Yeah, for sure. He has to make sure that he doesn't get criticized, I mean, people that have real problems with criticism obviously, there's a big deal about, them holding together an image. Oh, at KLW? Yeah. I just find that a lot of these big channels have very strict moderators, and the moderators usually have a problem with their own, egos as well. And they're there to protect the big ego, not only their ego, but the big ego that's above, that's giving them little props every day. Oh, he strokes my ego every day. I do whatever he says. Whatever he says, I do. That's why we kind of shy away from having too many mods. We just, there was a time when I was doing YouTube and I told all the mods, because they were banning a lot of people, and I was like, you know what? Okay, today we're not going to have any mods. I said, I'm taking off all the mods for today, and this is a day for the trolls. I said, anybody out there that's a troll, you can call me. I put up my phone number, and you can give me a call, and let's talk. The mods got all pissed off. They mutinied, and they all left. Like about 4 or 5 of the mods just like said, I'm not going to mod for you anymore. And I'm like, okay, great. You did it. I didn't have to fire you. No, I wasn't going to fire anybody. I just didn't want them to ban everybody. Like, why are you banning people for what? What are they doing wrong? If they're trolls, it's okay. Let them be a troll. As long as they're not, being really evil and what's the word? Graphic. And, if they're just being worldly, hey, they're worldly people. What do you expect? You can't. That's their nature. You got to try to witness to them, love them, try to give them a warning and tell them, hey, we're Christians here. Don't cuss. Okay. Don't cuss. Don't cuss. You don't listen to the rules. Then yeah, there's a timeout. You're going to get a timeout. But anyways, I just try to be nice, and at the same time, give some rules, have some respect, but, don't be, don't cause chaos. That's all. That's all we ask. Don't cause chaos. If you do, then you get banned. You used to scare you with the funny Chinese accent? No, they wouldn't come after me. Who knows, though? They might. They might. Who knows? The Chinese are coming. They definitely are coming. There was a guy that used to come to our fellowship, and he said that he was learning Mandarin, the language of the Chinese. And he's serious too. He moved out of the city, and he moved out to a large, kind of a far out of the way place. And he said he was going to learn Chinese, Mandarin language, for the purpose of when they get here, that he could at least talk to them. And maybe they, I guess that was his idea, that they might be a little more lenient and not kill him. What do you think about that strategy? How many of you guys remember that? Is there anybody that used to go to our chat back in the day, our small group? I think I'm trying to remember his name. What was his name? Do you remember, honey? Who said that? Who was it that said that? Oh, you're kidding. They used grenades? That's terrible. Oh my gosh. It is terrible. That's terrible. Yeah, you get to see a lot of very bad things on Telegram. Sometimes it's so graphic. I got to be real careful with what I see on there. So I guess, were you referring to the barracks? Yes, I was just going to ask you, Jeff. Yeah, what you thought about that, Jeff? What did you think? I'm talking about the barracks. What was your thoughts on that? Just out of curiosity. Yeah, Greg was his name. Greg was his name. Yes. Do you guys remember Greg? Greg was the one that said that. Yes, Jeff B. That was what I was referring to. That story about the barracks. What do you think? What do you think that means? What does that mean? Like, they had the barracks, and the guy said, this tree is not going to be this much taller until you're all dead. Like, he has like a time frame of how long it's going to take for that tree to get a certain height before everybody that he sees and that he doesn't like is going to die. Is that weird? One, it's for illegals for deport, but he was like Islamic. She said he was like Islamic. Oh, thank you, Jesus. I think I remember. I think I know who you're talking about. No, that was somebody else. I forgot his name. Yeah, Arabs play the long game, Jeff. Exactly. That's what I think it meant. I'm thinking, Jeff, you're right. You're absolutely right. Man, they play the long game, man. That's what he was saying. This is the long game. When this tree gets this big, this is what's going to happen. And you see how he used the tree analogy? Because, that's like something that people in other countries would say, when it get this big, you will all be dead, We know that there are Afghans that we flew in are living in the mountains. Really? That's California, too. That's California. Yeah, he lived in Texas, Fig Beater. I think you're right. Yeah. Eden. Yep. That was his name. That was his handle. I remember that. Yep. I remember that. It was so long ago. God, that was like 12 years ago at least, huh? 12 years ago. Speaker Johnson uses the Bible to shred ignorant reporter. Right. I doubt it. Let's see. I got to see this. Let's see.
You let him off.
Let's see what he said here.
Man, he's a man. That's what Scripture teaches. That's at least the seventh time I've heard reference that. Can you say why you think Scripture teaches that?
Well, it goes back to the first book, Genesis. Male and female, he made them. I mean, this is pretty clear. I'm not sure there's another interpretation, but everybody's open to interpreting Scripture however they will. But this is comports with common sense as well. So we know it from our religious tradition, which I believe is the truth. I'm a Bible-believing Christian, make no apology about that. But whether you regard that as the truth or not, it's also nature. It's biology. And biology is not bigotry, as we say. Anyone who would accuse the supporters of this legislation otherwise is ill-informed. This is to protect women and girls. It's very clear. It's been articulated well, and you've heard examples.
Okay, so basic science is basically all they're doing is upholding basic common sense. Even pagans believe that. You don't have to be a Christian to believe that. Even a pagan believes that. Most of them. Pagans might be more prone to have that androgynous belief system, but especially if they're following Satanism or what do they call it? Baphomet. Because Baphomet's androgynous. How do you say it? Androgynous. Anyway, I'm saying it wrong. Let's hear this. You know what I can't wait for? Kash Patel have to explain Q in Congress. Are you talking about the Q thing? The Q drops? Is that what you're talking about? Why, is he a part of that? The Montana mountains, huh? Dang, that's crazy. Let's see. Does anybody want to? Well, it's kind of getting late here, huh? Androgynous. There you go. Thank you. Androgynous. Brandon Biggs warns of threats to Trump's safety. Again. Who accurately predicted the previous assassination attempt on Trump is now warning of a new coordinated attack. He describes trucks with 50-gallon drums and fertilizer targeting Trump's tower, golf courses, and potentially another attempt on Trump's life. And he's in a pink sweater. What? I'm sure he's going to get a visit. He's going to get a visit or two. Jeff, you think this guy's like on the radar? Definitely, right? You know who that Brandon Biggs is, right? He's the guy that predicted supposedly Trump was going to get shot in the ear. And they say he predicted the recent two events in New Orleans and in Las Vegas, supposedly. They already said he's going to get grilled about what? Are you talking about the guy who made these predictions? You talking about Jason Biggs? He is big too. He kind of goes with his name, Jason Biggs. This is the guy right here. I'll show you. Hold on 1 second here. Whoops. What did I just do? I can't believe some of these guys say the stuff that they do. Like, I'm like, dude, you are making predictions that is going to get you a lot of attention. This dude right here. You know who this? Oh, you're talking about Q? Oh, okay, Cash. You might be a little bit behind on the feed. That's probably why you're not seeing it on time. Oh, really? They went missing? The chemicals? Oh, that's weird. Yeah. You know, I listen to these people pretty closely, especially the ones they say are predicting things accurately. And I detect some shenanigans a lot of times. You know, I know when somebody's, saying something that truly is something that's pretty accurate, You got to look at people's motives too, It could be an evil spirit too, He does look a little bit crazy. When you look at him, he looks a little bit out there. Yeah. Yeah. There's just the way his eyes and the way he talks. Yeah, there's certain things that just my little buzzer goes off and says, nope, red alert or alert. the clown show, false prophets. Sometimes I have a guilty pleasure of going to watch Drew Bloom. You guys know who Drew Bloom is? I'll say a guilty pleasure because I sometimes feel a little guilty watching it. But he kind of roasts all these people on YouTube, like a lot of these people that are predicting all these crazy things, or they're out there preaching some really weird off the wall doctrines. Like, going to heaven naked and seeing his brother naked in heaven. Who is that? Robin Bullock and the other guy. And their names are made. I think God gave them these names for a reason. Like Robin Bullock. Like, you see, he's full of Bullock. Like the dude is just completely, he's like got the leather vest. He's got really long hair. He looks like he's a rock and roller. And, he sits there and he prophesies all these things that are just like, he's trying to be like Kim Clement, I think. He's trying to take up where Kim Clement left off. He looks like Igor. And they don't really preach a sound gospel. That their doctrines are so far off and they're so caught up into the supernatural stuff and the visions and the dreams and, it's all about miracles, signs, wonders, dreams, visions, feelings, music. Where's the substance? Where's the beef? Come on. Where's the relationship? That you're supposed to be creating an environment for growth and maturing in the body of Christ with sound doctrines as your foundations that guides your experience, not the other way around. You can't be guided by experiences. You got to be guided by the light of God's truth, which ultimately signs and wonders will follow. I'm not saying I'm against signs and wonders or any kind of, messages from God or anything, but man, I'm going to tell you what, you got to be real careful about hearing messages all the time. When you start hearing voices and you start hearing angels talking to you and you start, seeing a sign here and there every day and every 5 minutes, angels come and visit you and sit down and have coffee with you and shoot the breeze with you. I mean, some of these people are just like, where are they coming? Where are they getting all this stuff from? But like I said, Drew Bloom, he's a guy on YouTube that chronicles a lot of this stuff, and he's pretty funny to listen to. But I think sometimes he gets a pleasure out of it. He probably needs to repent sometimes here. He probably gets too much fun off of doing this. Lori, what's going on? Let's see. The NAR movement. Yeah, they call it the New Apostolic Reformation. Yeah, you want to stay away from people that are into that. People like Lance Walnew. You don't want to get too caught up with the 7 Mountain Mandate or the anything that has to do with that 7 Mountain Mandate stuff or the Kingdom Now theology. Or they're all really big about government, and they're usually very big Zionists, kind of government Christians. They're very caught up in a government, and you got to be careful with all that stuff. Anyone talking with their hands, yeah, you got to be careful with anybody that just gets into the hand movements too much. I like the way Trump does this. He's like always, he has to put himself in a box. He's like, he always does this with his teeth. I always feel like he's doing push-ups or something. When he's talking, he's like doing push-ups. That's Trump. Hey, I use my hands a lot too. I do use my hands. So I get, you know what? You're not even seeing me on the screen there. I'm sorry. I'm all like showing you stuff here and I'm not even on the screen. I just realized I wasn't on the screen. So I was thinking about people that use their hands a lot. They're always like, Trump's always like putting himself in a box. He's like this when he talks. He's like, it's like he's doing push-ups. I just, he's always doing that. Isn't he doing that? Tell me, isn't that what Trump does? Is that a good Trump? I think I did that pretty good. It's like a little box. Did I see his new presidential photo? No, I didn't. I got to see it though. Tell me, show me. Where can I find it? Let's see here. We got another post here. Meanwhile, in New York City, long live Gaza, long live resistance chant pro-Hamas mobs in Times Square. What? A huge amount of people in Times Square right now chanting pro-Hamas slogans. You got to be kidding. So you said to look it up. Let me see. You're wanting me to look up. Let's see. Trump's new presidential photo. Let me see. Let's see if I can find it. Why does it keep telling me if I want to search in English? That's so weird. Random. Is there something going on? See, my system got reset here. Something happened. I think my computer was randomly taken over while I was talking to you guys, because now I keep getting this stupid message that says English, asking me if I want to look at it in English. Okay, so his new president, he looks mad. He looks mean. Ooh. Look at that. That's evil. Oh my gosh. And Vance looks weird, wicked too. Look at him. These guys look like they're. Oh my gosh. That's scary, dude. That is like wicked scary. Like if I wasn't a Christian, I'd be shaking in my boots right now. Look at this. That looks like his prison photo. Or when he got that looks fear. The Bible says he has a fierce countenance. Look at that. Tell me that's not fierce. Oh my gosh, that is so creepy. Look. Dude, that is like fierce, man. Look at that face. And then look at Vance. He's got weird eyes, man. Vance has got like alien eyes. They remind me of like something you would see on an alien or something. Like they don't look like natural. They look kind of alien. Look. Doesn't that look alien to you? I mean, like, look at that face. Oh my God. And then look at that. He's got that one, he's like looking at you like, yep, I'm going to get you. Oh, you don't know what's coming, do you? My gosh. Trump, be nice. Please be nice. Don't torture me too much, please. My goodness. Oh my gosh, dude. I got the chills. I got the chills. I got the chills. They're multiplying. And I'm losing control. Jeff, why did you do that? Now you're going to give me nightmares. Now I got nightmares. Tell me that he didn't look mean there. My goodness. That's one fierce countenance. Dan told me to be on the lookout for it. Dan told you to be on the lookout for it? Really? You hadn't seen it yet, Jeff? You didn't see it yet? Was that the first time you saw it? That's crazy, dude. Who told you to look? Who told you to go find that? Is that brand new? Trump's official portrait. It says this is from Axios. It says Trump team brags new presidential portraits go hard. They're saying that they're going hard. Yeah, they're going hard. It says President-elect Trump sported a familiar stone-faced stare in his official portrait, revealed just days before he makes his White House return. The intrigue, the non-traditional portrait is starkly different from his first term pose, where he grins under even lighting. This time he's got like a shadow. Instead, with the upshot glow, a raised eyebrow, and a tight-lipped mouth, it's reminiscent of another photo in his historic mugshot. Oh gosh, I hope this is not chronicled for posterity. Oh Lord, my goodness. He told you 3 days ago. Okay, it's like crazy. That is absolutely creepy, scary. I bet you like people like Russia are like, holy crap, let's get ready for a big war. They're like, get all your guns ready. He's almost here. People are like, let's get ready. Trust the plan. He's like, trust the plan or else. Oh no. Trust the plan or else. Okay, I give up. I'll take it. Here's my arm. Just put it right there. I give up. No, people are gonna. Oh my gosh, that is absolutely crazy. Look at the picture cut in two. It looks like half Biden, half Trump. I know, that's weird, huh? Because one eyebrow is way up and the other one is way down. Like, how does he do that? Trust the plan. Okay, so. Oh. Trust the plan. That is a good one, man. Cheyenne, did you met him, right? You actually, Cheyenne, didn't you tell us that you met him in an elevator or something? Did you have a bodyguard with you? No, Cheyenne, didn't you have? Yeah, yeah. You met him in a yeah, in a. Well, he's German. Like, he's German background. Like, people don't realize that he's pretty much full blood German, I think. They changed his name. The family changed their name from Frump to Trump because they didn't want. The dad was doing a lot of rentals and stuff, and I guess Trump's dad didn't want the Jews to feel intimidated by him or something. Drumpf, something like that, yeah. Anyway, guys, I feel something coming too. KH gave T a very scary look at Jimmy's funeral. KH. Who's KH? Oh, Kamala Harris? Yeah. I saw something there. That was kind of weird too. Yeah, I know. I did see that. Trump gave somebody a stare. Oh, no, that was another video I was looking at. That was something else. Yeah, definitely. I think I did see that. Oh, Big Mike. I know. What happened to Big Mike? Where was he? They say that he's on the outs with Obama. Is that true? Or is he just so bitter that he can't stand to be there and everybody's making up rumors? They're either making up rumors or he just hates Trump that much that he didn't want to be there. No, I think it has something to do with Obama. There might be something definitely going on. That's why Obama was being all nice to Trump probably. He's like, oh, well, my wife left me, so, or my husband or whatever, and maybe I'll just try to work my magic with you, Trump. Buddy, old pal. Forgive the past, forgive and forget. Mike's in Hawaii. Yeah, his middle name is Drump. I think it was D with a T, right? Did Trump or something like that. What I find to be interesting right now is the way the Bannon thing is playing out, because Bannon represents the real far kind of right wing, more conservative wing of the party, but he's kind of like a little militant in a way, kind of sort of politically. You would maybe classify him as a hatchet man, and he's done a lot of groundwork for Trump. And I think he's tried to prove himself to be worthy of being on the team. And I think Trump kind of gave him that impression that he was in. But the way it's panning out now is that he's coming against Elon very harshly, talking about how Elon is not going to be in the White House. He's going to have to get access like every other person. And as if he's got some special relationship with Trump. And I find that to be very interesting because personally, I think Trump's going to throw Bannon to the curb. Bannon has no influence in any way the way Elon has. And you think Trump is going to somehow listen to what Bannon recently said? Did you see some of the things that Bannon said about Elon? And he's making it seem like he has the authority, like he somehow has Trump's approval and blessing upon what he's actually saying. Like he's literally lambasting Elon online as if Trump is behind him. It's absolutely crazy. He's probably drunk. Yeah, I think maybe he's drunk. I'm talking about Bannon. I don't know. I don't know if he drinks. He kind of looks like he might drink. Looks like a possible attack. What's that? Something's happening in D.C.? Really? What's going on? What's going on? D.C.? Honey, see if there's anything going on in D.C. Jeff says something's going on in D.C. Let me see. Department of Energy helicopters are conducting. Somebody just posted this on Telegram. Let me see. Are conducting flights over Washington, D.C., scanning for nuclear irregularities in preparation for President Trump's inauguration. Equipped with high sensitive technology, pilots are flying in grid-like patterns to detect any radiological anomalies. So that's what's going on right now. Department of Energy helicopters are conducting flights over Washington, D.C. So is the story. So this is the story. But is this really what's going on? Oh, I guess we're going to find out. So they're doing grid searches over Washington, D.C., scanning for nuclear irregularities in preparation for President Trump's inauguration. Equipped with highly sensitive technology, pilots are flying in grid-like patterns to detect any radiological anomalies. Let's see if we can find something on that on YouTube. Let's see if we can find some footage. Let's see. 1 hour ago. Let's see. Security checkpoints. Let's see. We can find anything. Okay, here we go. 30 minutes ago. Oh no, a car plunges into the Potomac River. That's a car plunging into the Potomac. So I guess it crashed. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, car crashes at Potomac River, shutting down the Arlington Memorial Bridge. So I guess it went right over the edge. Pretty crazy. I don't see anything else about helicopters. Let me see. Washington, D.C. helicopters. In the last hour. Nope. All right, let me take a Google search really quick and see if we got anything on Google. Google search. Now, see, it goes right, defaults to Yahoo. Something changed my default. Why did somebody do that? Somebody did that? That wasn't me. I didn't do that. All right, here we go. Nope, that's the raw alert. Okay, so here, let's see. The dive team has successfully pulled the driver out of the car that drove off the Arlington Memorial Bridge and submerged in the Potomac River about an hour ago. I wonder if he's still alive. That's all I see on some of these here. Let me see if I do a Twitter search. Okay, this was just posted. Bot. It says, bot that tweets about planes and helicopters flying in circles over the environs of Washington, D.C. Sky Circles LA, Sky Circles CHI. Let's see. Skykeeper elect. Is this normal? Somebody's asking. Let's look over here and look. We're going to go over here and look at this. Okay, guys? Let's take a look. So, look at that helicopter. It looks like an ant. It looks like an ant. Look at that helicopter. Oh no, got music. It's gonna mess up my feed here if I play it. So let's just take a look. It's that thunder. Look at that little ant. It's just going in circles. Doesn't it look like an ant? It looks like an ant. Not knowing where to go. What is going on there? It's like, what is going on there? This look at how many circles it's made. What's going on in DC? And this is a H-125 Airbus helicopter. Okay, so let's look and see what the other one is. Road closed. So all of these roads are closed. Someone tag me when there is an update. No fly zone. Okay. Let's see what they're, so is this I don't know what that is. What the heck is that? Oh, that's something else. Okay, that's October. So nothing really. This is all old stuff here. This right here was just posted. Oh no, that was October 13th. What the heck am I thinking? Sorry about that. So really, I guess that's nothing. That was October 13th. Sorry about that, guys. Doesn't look like there's anything there. So it says several cars just went over the bridge into the water in Washington, D.C. Several cars? How could, that's pretty crazy that they went over the bridge like that. Wow. Several cars. Look what it did.
Somebody drove their car off the bridge in D.C. That's the Kennedy Center.
Dang. That just happened. So they rescued the driver, it says, so he obviously lived. That's amazing. That's a pretty steep drop. And who's this? Leo Terrell? What? Look at that. Look at that bus. What in the world? Klaus Schwab. Rothschild. Isn't he dead already? Bill Gates. Who's the other guy? That's weird. Watch as Biden's own State Department gives credit to Trump for the Israeli Hamas ceasefire deal an hour after Joe Biden gave credit to himself. What in the world? Watch as Biden's own State Department credits President Trump. Okay, let's listen. This has got to be funny. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
To the involvement of President-elect Trump's team, it has been to the involvement of President-elect Trump's team, it has been absolutely critical in getting this deal over the line. And it's been critical because, obviously, as I stand here today, this administration's term in office will expire in 5 days. And one of the things that we have always said about this deal is that when you get from stage 1 to stage 2, that the United States, Egypt, and Qatar are the guarantors of this deal. And Egypt and Qatar will push Hamas to stay at the bargaining table and to get from stage 1 to stage 2. And the United States will push Israel to stay at the bargaining table to get from phase 1 and phase 2. So obviously those are promises we cannot make on behalf of the United States for any longer than the next 5 days. And so it's critical that all of the parties to the agreement and the other mediators see that when the United States is in the room making commitments, those are lasting commitments that extend beyond this administration into the next one. I would just say, lastly, I don't know if it's unprecedented to have envoys from an outgoing and an incoming administration sitting at the same table negotiating a ceasefire agreement of this kind. But if it's not unprecedented, it's certainly unusual. And we, of course, thank the Trump team for working with this on this ceasefire agreement. We think it's important that they were at the table. And
wow. And Biden took all the credit. He tried to take the credit. Isn't that crazy? What happened here? So Washington, D.C. is no longer showing as D.C. on Google Maps. I wonder why. That's weird. Is that true? Let me look. I'm going to look right now. Hold on. Why is it coming up always on Yahoo? I don't want Yahoo. What is going on here? I got to go change my settings again. My settings were commandeered here. All right, so I'm doing a Google search right now, and here's the map of DC. Let's see if they're right. It does say District of Columbia, so I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know. People, whatever. Okay, I think that's about it, guys. A massive UFO seen over Langley Air Force Base last night. Is that a UFO? It looks like it's a plane. It looks like a cigar-shaped plane. It's over my head. Here, let me get out of the way. What does that look like to you? Does that look like a plane? Look, boss. The plane. The plane. The plane. The plane. I wonder what his fantasy is going to be. Tattoo? I don't know, boss. But it's gotta be good. I'm sure it's good, boss. Tattoo, don't get any ideas. This is not your fantasy. It's cold where I live. It's so cold. Oh, man. And it is cold where I live, by the way. This is Washington, D.C. preparing for the inauguration 13 hours ago. Lots of stuff out and about. Look at there's the big the obelisk, the phallic symbol. That's about the time when the Capitol is impregnated and up comes Osiris from the grave, or Apollo rising to possess the current president in chief with the fierce countenance. And as his name indicates, the little horn who makes great boasts. I just think it's so odd and so crazy. I mean, I'm just amazed at how it all fits kind of in a sort of weird way, you know? It's not like, you know, hey, yeah, this could be it. For all we know, this is it. The great deception is upon the whole world, and they don't even know it. Most people don't. People are resigning in mass before Trump gets in. Look at this. I'm out of here. And Ellen DeGeneres, she moved. I heard she moved out of the country. Was it Ellen DeGeneres? Yeah, she left. She's like, I'm getting out of here. Trump, before he gets here, I'm moving. Who else do you know that's moved out of the country because of Trump? Anybody? Future smart cities. These are the future smart cities. Austin, Boston, Chicago, Columbus, Denver, Los Angeles, New York City, Pittsburgh, Raleigh, San Diego, San Fran, Washington, D.C. Get ready for some fires or earthquakes or something. You're going to be seeing sweet Georgia Brown out there saying, Lord Jesus, there's a fire. I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. I would have been smack dab in the middle. I am so happy that I'm not in Cali. Like I said, I got out of Dodge because I knew what was coming. We had to get a big head start, though. All right, guys, that's about it for me. I think I'm going to say sayonara, adios. What else do I say? Au revoir. I think that's the way you say it. And God bless. You guys have a great night. The Lord bless all of you out there richly, and keep up on all of our feeds and our posts. Like I said, anything can happen at any time, just like Jack Sullivan said. He said, there's only like a few days left, but I could be back. Anything's possible, especially in the world we're living in. You know, I think he was like, isn't he national security, Jake Sullivan? He's expecting something possibly really big in the next few days. I think it could happen any moment. But like I said, I'll be here for you guys to cover anything that's happening live in real time with many different feeds and great commentary to boot. All right. God bless you all too. Kathy, Cheyenne, Gerardo, Super Dave, Lynn, and Jeff, and everybody else out there in Blazing Press Land. Wayne, have a great night. Cindy, and I'll talk to you soon. God bless. And don't forget, get signed up on our Patreon. You want to make sure you're connected with us there if you want to go on the live feed where we have a little discussion about what's going on the, get the down low. I mean, this is going to be real deep, heavy. This is kind of like, this is like the deep dive. Okay. We're going to go into the deep stuff. Freedom Deep, you're going to need to be there because you got deep in your name as a sign. You got to be in the deep. Get in with us on the deep end. It's where the big boys swim. All right, Judy, God bless you too. God bless you. We'll talk to you guys all soon. Have a great night. If I don't see you before tomorrow. And then tomorrow morning or sometime in the afternoon, early morning, mid-afternoon, or early afternoon, we'll be doing our devotional too. So don't forget that. God bless.